Squat day is back on, and I did go up in weight on this session, both on the front squat and on the superset with the hanging leg raises. Speaking of the front squat, I did go up from 60 kilos to 65, and I was focusing a lot on technique, on going down, keeping my torso as upright as possible, loading those quads. And what I did notice is that of the 3 sets that I did, they were all in a low rep range. I did not move the rep range from the previous week. I only increased the weight, but I did notice a much bigger engagement in the quads. The absolute load is not very heavy. 65 kilos is a weight that on my back squat I could do for very high reps, up to 15 and even more. But on the front squat, the relative demand on the quads is much, much higher, to the point where I was actually feeling initial soreness in my quads as I was going through my last set. So what I am planning to do now is to keep this superset the way that it is. I did go up 4 kilos, and using the dumbbell for the hanging leg raises is feeling really good, much better than a plate. So I'm gonna be using dumbbells and progress those. And for the front squat, I will be staying in a low-ish rep range. I'm thinking 4 to 6 for the working sets. So I'm going to progress up until I can do 6 reps per set, and then I will increase the weight and see how that goes. Approach jumps came just after that, and the slight soreness that I felt in my quads did not really impact the way that I jumped, I don't believe. I'm adding again another step. I want to increase the variables and see how I feel with a longer run up to the jump. There still is the issue of the box creating a bit of a mental block, but it's just one of the variations that I'm doing. So I am happy to continue using that because it gives me at least something to shoot for, which is a good thing on the other hand, because it gives me a hard number that I can use to track the progression with. So it's not all bad. And then I was going into the usual superset for the upper body. In here, hammer curls, I still felt a bit of soreness from a couple of days ago when I was doing the assisted jumps, and I forgot that I was not really meant to be doing any curling variations. So I felt like there was a bit of soreness in the low bicep, maybe even the tendon that attaches into the elbow. And I was slightly concerned because the next day it's going to be a chin-up day, so I don't really know how that is going to affect things. I need to be more careful when I'm looking at my program, because I have kind of memorized all of the exercises and what I'm going to do on a day-to-day basis, but there's always the chance that I'm going to forget some precious information, and this was one of the cases. Especially because I did go up in dumbbells when I was doing the hammer curls, so hopefully it doesn't really give much of an annoyance after all. I was keeping the push-ups as the last exercise, and I also went down a bit on the pullovers because I'm feeling like if I really want to control this movement, and it is an isolation, so there is no point in just increasing the weight for progression's sake. I want to get to isolate and stretch the lats, and I do not want too much stress to go into the shoulder girdle. So I just went down in weight, and I was doing controlled reps for higher repetitions. Push-up felt good. I didn't go up to 25 reps on the first set. I stayed at 20. And the second set, I kind of struggled with 20. I went up to 15 in one go, and then the last 5, I was taking a bit of a rest. They're coming up now. So technique is decent. Maybe there is a bit of an arch in the low back. I should really try and engage more my upper back so it stays flatter, especially when I'm putting weight on top of that. I can see that the plates, when I'm doing weighted push-ups, doesn't really rest properly on that. So a couple more things to improve there. And on the approach box jumps, nothing really groundbreaking happened. I'm still dealing with a few technical issues and imperfections that are probably, actually, definitely impacting negatively the way that I am doing these. So keeping the torso upright, really driving through the penultimate stride and turn the hips into it, create the torque, and then explode up and not be afraid of running through the wall. It's good fun. Let's get it done. Ciao.